And welcome. See, it does it every time. It doubles up on me. And welcome to episode 13 of Police Box Paradox. The Rings of Akhaten is the episode we have just finished watching about an hour ago. And why? It's kind of breezy in my ear right now. It sounds like I'm getting a lot of feedback for some reason.
Me too.
I don't know. So we apologize for any technical difficulties that may be happening, but we are live and on the air. We're on the YouTubes. I will say, if you're watching on YouTube and leaving us comments, we can't load those during the actual video, so we can't respond to those, and that's been happening some lately, and I feel bad about that, so we do apologize. But I am Wes. I'm here with Michael.
Hello.
And Kyle.
Singing to the gods.
Are you singing to the gods? Just singing to the gods, aren't you?
Never ending.
You know what? I was about a half a second from getting a drink of pop, and that would have been a lot worse because I wasn't expecting that at all.
There would have been a spray. And on this week's very special episode of Doctor Who Meets Glee, we're excited to
I'm glad you said it first.
To critique, I guess, the singing Simon Cowell style. Okay, let's just start out with, let's get the basics off the table where people don't know. We're just a bunch of fanboys. We love Doctor Who. We're going to talk about it. It's not going to be picking out every minor detail and shredding it. We love the show. We're not going to talk spoilers, anything that's happened before now up until the preview for next week. And then later on we may discuss a few news bits that have broke that aren't huge spoilers. They're just theory type stuff. And we're just going to talk and have fun. You can more than absolutely send us questions on Twitter. We're at PoliceBX Paradox. We try to keep up with that during the show if we can, and answer questions as we see fit. And you can send them all throughout the week, and we'll try to get to them at the end of the time or on Twitter as we can too. We've just watched The Rings of Akhaten, and I guess we'll do a quick run through as to how you feel about the episode. Mike, what did you think about The Rings of Akhaten?
Wait. I actually have to be vocal, too.
Yeah, you can't just visual it. We put up an audio podcast, so people need
I will probably go back to this later. I will say this. Not huge on it, because pretty much kind of what you said with the Glee thing. But I think this is going to be one of those episodes where you're meant to gloss over it, and there's going to be certain things that are going to be paid out later.
I think that's going to be this entire series. This second half of the season, it's going to be very subtle, and then you're going to realize what has happened. Now, I say that because during season 3 or series 3 with Martha, while I enjoyed the episodes, there came a stretch towards the end where I kept thinking, man, this just seems like we are running in circles for no reason. And then it all breaks down with the Master, and I go, oh, so you're a genius. My bad. That's my fault. So I'm wondering if that's where we're going. Kyle, what did you think of the episode?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow, so you liked it more than last week's.
I was fantastically impressed. I love the whole going to the future, going and seeing a new type of place in the universe we hadn't seen yet. There was some of the most powerful acting by Matt Smith that I have ever witnessed in a Doctor Who episode. And this episode starts out so small and so simple, and it just builds and it builds and it builds to this epic crescendo, pun intended. And it was
the crescendo.
It was just absolutely amazing. I loved this episode. I absolutely loved it.
I'm in the middle of the two of you. I definitely liked it more than Michael did. I don't think I liked it as much as you did, but I enjoy it. I think overall this is the type of episode we needed because we've not been to like a crazy alien planet in a long time, it seems like. And it just, this feels like something we would have done with Eccleston. It feels like something we would have done somewhat with Tennant, but we haven't done it that much with Matt Smith. It seems like all of Matt Smith's stuff has been Earth-based or spaceship-based. I mean, we don't really go to these type of environments, and I was real happy to do that. What I want to say is the opening and the closing of the episode is what made it for me. The opening, and I don't want to compare it to it totally because this.
And that's
when
more of what I was
it's done
referencing
perfectly.
too. Yeah.
I equate the opening of this to similar to the opening of the Pixar movie Up, which I hold the opening of Up very close to my heart. It seems like they did better storytelling in just a few minutes of that movie than most movies do, period. This isn't as good as that, but it's still real good. That just cold open of putting us in a story, we didn't know what was going on. Now we know that the doctors went back and watched and like kept checking in on Clara as she grew up. It was a very beautiful story and sad, but it was really well done. I really, really, really like that. I don't know. I will say when we get to the alien planet, I don't feel as, and I know they're different characters, but it seemed like all the other companions, when they get to that new futuristic, this is when they know, holy cow, we can go anywhere in space and time. They seem different than what Clara did. They seemed more mind blown and more just wide-eyed, and I can't believe this happened, whereas Claire's a little different, but she's a little different character too.
She is a different character because the companions of the past, they like to just wander off and get themselves into trouble. Clara, when she wandered off, she had control of the situation the entire time, took control. It was just a weird, it was weird, but it was a good weird. It was good to see her not be as helpless as the other companions have been in the past.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a companion that we've never seen before, which we didn't. Amy was different than anything we've seen before too, but this just seems like a totally different dynamic. Like it's not going to be she's lost and in trouble, and now we have to figure out exactly how to get her out of it.
Should we be worried that the 11th Doctor likes to stalk children?
Well, it is a little weird. It's a little icky, but that's okay because he's a good guy. He likes to groom them young so they can be good companions. He likes to make sure that they have the right kinds of nightmares and run right into his arms so they can travel the universe.
I will say this. I want to ask you two this because I don't know. It didn't really. I didn't really think it, but at the same time, it kind of registered with me at the very beginning when he's taking her out of the TARDIS and positioning her and saying the whole, alien sun on her eyes and all that stuff. Did that just seem a little bit more almost romantic than anything he ever did with Amy?
I didn't think of it like that until you said it, and now that you've said it, you're right. That does seem a little more romantic because it was with Rose.
It wasn't so. Yeah, it wasn't so much like I get like a geek getting excited showing
right, which is what he's
like
always got off
is.
on. Is showing like, let me show you what is out there. Yeah, it seemed more like, do you feel the warmth on your face? Do you Yeah, that's a good pull because that is a little bit different. Did it seem, and maybe this is just me being picky, did it seem like we were trying to save a little budget on this episode?
Yeah, a little bit.
At one point near the end,
I love our Twitter friends. Let me just say
What
that.
happened?
Clara gets knocked into a stone wall, and you see the stone wall cave in from the foam. And it was during an epic moment of the episode. But it feels like Tom Baker. It feels like a Tom Baker Doctor Who.
I really thought it felt. I really felt like you could have pulled. Although ain't no way Eccleston is ever having the sing song, but it really felt like an Eccleston episode to me. Like the set pieces.
That was my next
around.
question. You think it feels like the second episode with Rose, the end of the universe, or end of Earth, or whatever, with all the different aliens? You've got this big, bright sun glowing thing that is the center of it. I don't know. And I've got more to say about Rose here in a little bit.
We get back to Rose.
I'm very partial to that episode, so maybe that's why that second episode, End of the World. I'm very. That's what hooked me to Doctor Who.
Me too, because I was ready to give up after Rose, and then End of the World happened, and I was like, wow, this is really good. But you mentioned the sun. I would have saved this till the end, but I want to talk about it right now because it's important. And it plays back anyone who's listened to anything else I've ever done with the end of Titanic and why it's crap. Here's my question. There are 7 planets circling that sun, right? And worshiping all that.
You're going to say what I was going to in a little bit.
Here's my question. At the end of this episode, we have completely destroyed that sun. Will all the life on those planets not die? Is that? I mean,
if they do, they're apparently accepting of that since they gave her ring back.
I guess so. They're like, "Thanks for killing us. Here's your ring back, sweetheart." Because I don't know I'm not a NASA guy. I don't know everything there's know about space. But I'm pretty sure if the sun dries out, it's a wrap.
All that stuff was orbiting the gravitational pull.
It wasn't just a planet; they were orbiting. So it's important to the ecosystem of that that solar system they're in.
I'm usually the critical one, but I'm going to try to save us this time.
Okay, bring the physics out.
The doctor did say that he's been to places where the rules of physics do not apply, and maybe this is it right now. This is it. That is about as...
That's valid.
That's it.
I will give you that.
Okay.
Because he did say that. And you can't critique the physics on a show where there's space and time travel.
I'm waiting for this episode to be brought up as fact off of Ancient Aliens that there were pyramids out in space.
It's possible because there was a pyramid out in space. I saw it, which I thought that was pretty cool. I think there was a lot of ancient Egypt in this, like different twists. I've seen some people. What I hate is usually I've watched the episode twice by the time we do the show, and the second time I've gone through and made notes, but I didn't get to do that this time because of whatever. Have
you seen DC Sensei, Doc Sensei's
which one?
tweet?
The Chris Hansen? Because that was I'm trying to compose myself. His other one I'm going to save because I want to bring that up later.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up later, but yeah, I'll just say our Twitter follow. I guess this is in response for me saying the doctor is stalking children.
I just like knowing there's people on the same wavelength.
Yeah. He says the next master will be played by Chris Hansen.
So good.
Oh, I applaud you for that, sir. That's
don't get involved on Twitter. You need to. Okay, question. Let's get back to the beginning real quick with the leaf and all that.
Okay.
Do you think the dates on the tombstone or anything are significant?
Yes. Do you want to know why?
Okay.
Because
I know. Spoiler or is it theory?
No.
You can't say no when I ask 2 separate questions. It's not spoiler.
Yes, I can.
Not theory. Well, you can. It doesn't make it
It's
valid.
not theory.
Okay,
I researched it prior to this episode. I actually do research and just not make up crap.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Now I'm slacking because I just make crap.
There are 2 instances of that date in relation to Doctor Who. First one I'm questionable about. It's off of IMDb.
It's on the internet. It has to be true.
Let me search it again. I lost it. It says, well, hang on. Saturday. There we go. This is off IMDb. I'm questionable about this one, and this one isn't the one that I think matters. Because if you remember, Clara's tombstone in the Christmas special linked back to the beginning of Doctor Who completely, right?
Right.
Okay. Saturday, March the 5th, 2005, is the date that the episode Rose is set in.
Really?
I have not gone back to look. If anybody wants to check this out while we're recording, I think it's episode 4 of that season with Eccleston, when him and Rose come back to see Jackie and all that, and they've been gone a year. They apparently show the missing posters that Jackie posted, and it says the last day seen March 6th, which means
he showed up.
That was the day after the mall, after the.
Do you think her mom got killed in the mall? Did the Autons kill her mom in the mall?
Who knows?
You don't want to die in a mall. That doesn't seem like the way to go.
No, but that's a date. That's not just a randomly picked date. Knowing Moffat.
No date. Nothing like that is random. Nothing like that is random. Kyle, where did you see Ravenwood? Was that her name?
Yeah, Ravenwood was her mother's maiden name?
But have we heard that before somewhere? Is that word seemed like a word
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, Marion Ravenwood. That's where I was getting that from.
Okay, because you brought it up and you're like, have we heard Ravenwood before? And I was like, I think we have, but that's where we heard it. So it has to do with Doctor Who.
The other Saturday, March 5th, 2005, that's on IMDb, since I mentioned it, that date was when a rough cut of Rose was leaked onto the internet, and that was about 3 weeks before it actually premiered. So.
Oh, the people who steal the Who. So, what was I had something else from the early on stuff, but I cannot find where I put that. Okay, so, we're all in agreement that the episode was at least good. It wasn't Mike's favorite, but it was a good episode. I again think
who knows, it might end up being my favorite.
Really? I don't think it could be my favorite. They'd have to do some work. They'd have to do some magic. So, are we gonna the constant singing was hokey, right?
It was. Yeah. It was. I thought it was rich. I thought it was a good story element. I thought it was very unique.
It made sense in the story.
Did we need to see 5 entire minutes of it without any doctor action or anything like that? I'm not really convinced of that. I guess it's more epic, more powerful that way. I don't know.
Maybe it was this. I actually liked all the songs they sang during the whole episode, except for the one that she sang during the finale. That was the one that didn't do it for me, and maybe that took away from it some. I don't know. Nothing. No one.
Did anyone at any point in this episode, especially near the end when the Doctor was making his epic speech, Did it cross your all's mind that we're about to see the Doctor just break out into song to defeat this thing? And I was thinking this will be the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
When he had the smirk, when he had the smirk and said, "Do you hear that?" I was like, "Oh no, don't you dare!"
But he didn't. Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was an issue. I was like, please don't do this. Please don't turn this into that. And it didn't. And he gave an epic speech that was undertoned by the music, which really worked. So it turned out well. And we're going to talk about turning in a fine performance of acting. That closing speech from that's what Matt Smith does. Like when I look back at Matt Smith as the Doctor, I'm going to remember all the moments where he just basically stared down danger and explained why he's a doctor and you ain't got a shot at it. And I dig those moments. Like one of my favorite, probably my favorite, just flat out I'm the Doctor moments is Silence in the Library. Well, part 2. I forget the name of the second one is. I just call them both the same. When he says, "You're in the biggest library in all of space-time in the universe. Look me up." And then they back away because they're like, "Oh, yeah, my bad. You are the Doctor."
And so Matt Smith's very first episode, at the very end when he's standing on top of the hospital.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yep. Perfect.
Oh, that was why. That's what won me over to Matt Smith. Before then, even as good as the episode was, I was like, it's going to take a little while. But when he walks through the scanned faces of all the previous Doctors and just gives that performance, I was like, oh wow. And then he does another one in. It's not the Pandorica. Is the first one the Pandorica? When he's standing on Stone.
Yeah, when he's standing on this, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No plan, no anything, and gives that whole run, which actually kind of gets deflated when he finds that when it turns out to actually be a trick and they weren't really scared. They were letting him go into his own trap. But still, in the moment, it was an epic speech. He gives one here. And is this the first time we've seen
Forest
the Doctor cry?
Dead. Forest of the Dead.
Forest of the Dead is the part 2, yeah. Is this the first time we've seen the Doctor cry?
Surely David Tennant cried.
I feel like
his run.
Are you just talking about Matt Smith or the Doctor and
I'm talking about the Doctor in general because I don't remember anyone crying. Like I know David Tennant was sad when he died and walked away, but I don't remember a tear falling. Like we saw a stream of tears.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah.
So I can't remember a moment where I've seen actual tear flow out of the Doctor.
Or maybe when Rose. When she was trapped in the other reality.
When he was talking to her and he got cut off. Mm-hmm. Was when he's standing in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
That first goodbye.
I don't remember if there was a tear. I'll just take your word for it if you say there was.
I don't remember if there is or not, but that's about the best moment I could think of for Tenet to have a tear that...
I just find it significant, and we'll get to what DC Sensei said now. Him giving all those memories, is he going to lose a memory? Like, is there a chance he's lost something?
I don't know.
Or does he still retain all of it?
They glossed over that pretty quick, so I'm guessing it's...
Well, they acted like you had to actually sacrifice a person, and he offered himself for sacrifice, but after the planet or the star took his memories, he's still rocking and rolling as the Doctor. I don't know.
Well, that was kind of like the currency of the planet, which actually I thought was a kind of a cool spin. That value was in items that had an inherent past and value as far as sentiment. Like I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable and the wrong sentiment. So if I had something of value, it was worth more because it meant something to me. And when you give someone something, they get to keep it and take those memories with it, is the way it seemed to me. So I thought, is this like a reset? Is he going to give up everything that he knows in order to make this work? He gave him everything. It wasn't enough to quench the thirst. And
it was a hungry jack-o'-lantern. I mean, what can you do?
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought about it being a jack-o'-lantern. It definitely had a pumpkin face to it, but I thought it was kind of cool. I actually want to go back and get a screenshot of when there's the silhouette of him looking out over the bow of the planet and it on fire. That was a really good shot.
Go to our website and you'll see one.
We have it already?
I have it already, dude.
Why
I posted a behind-the-scenes video, and I use that for the featured image.
Yeah, it's a nice shot for sure.
Yes, I agree. And to just momentum kill while Kyle's coming back, since Tim's listening and he's sending us tweets. Tim, in response to your email, go ahead. Link to us, do whatever you want. You're cool.
I didn't see a tweet from someone.
He emailed me directly.
Okay. Well, that's not a tweet. You can't say he sent a tweet if he emailed.
He's tweeting us. He's the one who said that. Pretty sure when he saw Rose at the end right before he generated, he cried. Okay. He was the one that said Forest of the Dead is part 2 of the Silence in the Library. He verified that March 6th is on the poster for Rose Missing.
Oh, I got you. It's not coming up under name. I'm seeing Hoovy and Tim. I got you. Okay, my bad. He is tweeting. You're correct. Mm-hmm. I pull it back, sir. He is tweeting. You are correct. I saw a skull in the planet. I didn't see it. I saw a face. Did it go all the way to a skull? I saw the eyes.
The face kept...
Because the face kept moving.
It kind of might have. Yeah, it kept moving. They didn't stay on it long enough. It was just enough, I think, to where you were sitting there thinking, okay, is that face changing? I think that was the point, but... Let's see here.
So we're going to talk about Sexy? Sexy wouldn't let her in.
I love the fact that in my notes, I actually said Sexy doesn't like her because I didn't like writing out TARDIS, even though it's it's basically the same amount. Yeah, but Sexy don't like her.
Yeah, would not let her in. I thought definitely.
Last person Sexy didn't like was Captain Jack.
He ended up not invited back for the 50th. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, but hey, John Barrowman's always coming. I don't care what you say.
If you've listened to any of his interviews on the Nerdist, then that's not a far stretch. Because, well, yeah. Okay, so the TARDIS wouldn't let her in, so she's jealous. That could be setting up something potentially down the road. Here's something else I think is a setup. This is
you go with that, and then I'll go back to the TARDIS.
This is complete and total speculation on my part. I have nothing to back this in. But the more that we go on, the more I feel that the finale is going to be right before River goes to the library. And I think what's going to happen is, if you will pay attention to this episode...
Have you read the synopsis for the finale?
I have not.
All right, let me.
I know it finally has a name, and
I will give it. It was spoiled on the BBC's South African website. I'll find it while you talk.
The reason I feel this way is because I think the star of this episode is the sonic screwdriver. They talk. We have not talked about the Sonic like this in a long time.
Yeah,
and it was talked about how much he loves it, how much he needs it, how handy it comes in.
The fact that whenever it was something of sentimental value, he's been wearing Amy Pond's glasses 24/7, and those never come up. He just keeps looking at the Sonic.
There is so much attention paid to the Sonic that I think he's going to lose it. It's going to be shattered. Something's going to happen. I actually thought when the heavy door came down, I thought it was going to actually crush it. And I think we'll see him maybe without the Sonic for an episode, and I think he will rebuild a new Sonic, and it will be the Sonic he gives to River. And I wouldn't have thought, I really didn't think that much about that until they kept harping it on this episode. It was like Sonic this, Sonic. He used it in every way possible, but as an actual screwdriver. Mm-hmm. So, again, I got nothing to base that on. I just think it was really weird that it was there the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. It's the most we've seen it used in
forever. It seems
forever. Yeah,
because it wasn't just like little things. It was constant. Like he held the.
It was a big battle with those three guys. And
do we know what they are? Do we know their names? Because they were way cooler and should have.
I really like their design for what they were. Yeah,
overall look, the voice, that whispering, that was creepy. Yeah. I need more of them. I need them in and not this episode. I need them. Actually, the first time I saw a picture of them before, I thought they were cool, and I thought they're what's going to be on the Russian sub because they seem like something that would be cold underwater. Mm-hmm. But that deep, just echoey. It wasn't a Bane voice, but it was good. Like it was a nice, raspy, scary, kind of Moffat feel character. I wish we'd had more of them.
Okay. Would you like the short synopsis that BBC has for the finale on the?
Yes, I don't think this is a spoiler because BBC.
It's on BBC South African website. Yeah, I mean,
they do things a little differently down there. I don't know, but I don't consider this a big because this is the information that's going to be on your DVR whenever you get ready to record that episode. Anyway.
And I'm going to bring this up because this kind of loops back to something I was going to say about the TARDIS. Anyway, so we'll go with it. Someone is kidnapping the Doctor's friends, leading him towards one place in all of time and space that he should never go. Of course, most people are going to say the fields of Trent or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's too obvious.
It is kind of I feel like whenever he ends up there, it'll be like it just happens.
Yeah,
like it'll be. I can't compare.
I have
this
theories.
So epic,
I have theories of the finale, but I won't.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Go into that.
Similar to how like the Nox with Tennant, you kept waiting for the Nox in every way, shape, or form it could possibly come, and there is not a person in the world that can tell me they saw that coming. When it happened, my stomach dropped.
That was the point. Yeah,
I was like, oh no, like it was. Oh, it just hit you out of nowhere, and that's how I feel. We'll do the fields of Is it Transalore? Is that it?
It's close enough.
Whenever we get there, it's going to be a moment like something happens, and then you realize, oh, all right.
But my thing with the TARDIS not liking her. All right, TARDIS knows everything that's happened, everything's going to happen. All that big mess. You think she doesn't like her because she knows what she is going to be the end result of? Like she knows what's going to happen. She's like, I would say what I want to say, but I don't feel like making you edit the episode.
Don't be that guy.
I won't. But basically, like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of you right now. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But because she knows that she's the end, she's the result of something, or will be the result of something.
It's possible.
Or something, or something, or something.
I was thinking maybe they were going to try to build some kind of small story about how she gains the trust of the TARDIS, because eventually she may need to use the TARDIS to save the Doctor at some point.
I thought she was going to fly the TARDIS. I'd forgot about the moped. Whenever she had the flashback of "I'll be there to rescue you" every time, I thought this chick is going to try to fly the TARDIS, and that is not the way to go. That is not the move. But she rocked the moped out and went. Yeah. Oh, the dogs are fighting. Hold on. Let's see what happens. People that are on the audio podcast don't know, but the dogs are not happy with each other. Michael, talk.
Crap. I will. You know what? Put me on spot like that. That's not cool. I will say that I have absolutely nothing to say at the moment.
About
I will say,
when the dogs are fighting,
yes.
you have to be able to cover.
Wait,
That's
you
what I
threw.
need you for.
I was in the
At any moment,
and I can't spoil or theorize or say stuff, and that's where my mind's at right now. So I'm processing
How hard
stuff.
is it not to ruin Christmas for everybody? I mean, that's all. It's like just be a nice guy and don't.
I'm the one who writes the post that everybody goes to. I'm the one that says, "This is what I think about Clara and all this stuff." And
well, hold on. Think about is one thing. Theories are okay as long as they're not theories based on uncovered information that shouldn't be out in the public. What are you, Mr. Burns now?
Yes.
Actually, it's funny because all this made me think of something I didn't write a note on. Here, we'll do this. Raise of hands.
All right.
Who thinks the whole line of that leaf being the most important leaf in human history will come back as something specific or as an important thing?
I'll raise my hand up.
My hand is raised.
Moffat doesn't do this. He doesn't do things for no reason. And not only is that at the end of the episode, but whenever dude is dropping the most romantic "let's go out" moment ever with the leaf, he breaks it down to the point. And not only that, but that extrapolates to the rest of the show.
I love the fact that we're getting hands up on Twitter. Sorry.
Did we get a hands up?
Yes, we got hands up on Twitter.
Faster than mine does. My hands
I got it on my phone.
I definitely think like that's an allegory to the entire show. Everything that has ever happened is the reason why something else can happen. If one little small deviation from this plot and plan, which I think is what's going to lead us into the 50th, I think
2 hands up on Twitter.
I think something has happened to where for the 50th, because we all know what's happening, people. We know who's back. I think all that happens because something has happened and changed the
something has
course of history
changed.
that was like a what I forget the word when I'm on the spot. What's the
please say
moment?
it's paradox so you just so I can say you forgot
it's the paradox, but no, the
butterfly
the unchangeable moments. No, the unchangeable moments. The doctors.
Oh,
what are those called? Fixed points in time.
Fixed points in time. Yes.
I think a fixed point in time is going to become unfixed somehow, and that's why we're going to get
like
through
that.
from different pieces. Because I've really been obsessing on how they're going to tell this story without freaking stuff out, and
that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, them talking so specifically about every detail leading to something else. Because if a fixed point in time changed for the 9th or 10th or any other Doctor, the 11th won't exist. There's a possibility that it changed that course all throughout. So I think, we got to fix that fixed point. I think that would be a good way to do it. And that's what I got nothing, people. I don't look stuff up. I just talk. At this microphone right here, I just say words into this thing. So you can shoot me down and tell me I'm stupid now, Michael.
I actually like it.
Derail the momentum if at all possible. No? All right.
Claire's dad is the only one that's ever gotten laid using a leaf.
Just right off the tracks. That's where we went. Right off the tracks.
Not even a really special or pretty leaf. It's just kind of a dull burgundy. I mean, it wasn't like a bright yellow or an orange or something. It just is a floppy, wet leaf, which I guess is
Tim
fitting.
says they already did that in the first season of the new series, Rose Saved Her Dad, which that was a
Very
fixed
true.
point in time. My question is that a fixed point in time that affects everyone in the universe, or a fixed point in time that only affects her life and the small threads that come off of it? Because to me, a fixed point in time for the Doctor affects more people than a fixed point in time for me. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You're talking about someone going back and just, instead of taking one thread from a spider web, they're just knocking the whole thing down.
I don't know. Has anyone seen the Adjustment Bureau?
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's a very underrated movie. I really, really enjoy it. My wife didn't like it as much as I thght she would, but I loved it.
I thought it was good. It surprised me. I remember watching it. It was one of those, I'll watch it.
Exactly. That's what I did.
And it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But the way they explain how the different timelines and different choices interact with other choices, it kind of gives you an insight into, I think, Doctor Who and other timepieces. Whereas, yes, you can make a decision, you can change a decision, it will have butterfly effect out, but the ripple may lose its power once it gets so far because it didn't affect anything else. You may change something for me, but it doesn't change what someone in England did tonight, because it just didn't have that power. Something with the Doctor changing can affect everybody. So that's where I think they could kind of get off the rails with that. We'll see. I don't know. So I'm trying to look at, because I didn't have a lot of notes. Like I said, I need to rewatch everything. And that's usually where I take all my good notes. The Doctor didn't have a plan. I always love when the Doctor doesn't have a plan, because it always is more fun than when he does have a plan. Because when he has a plan, the plan works. I always love when he doesn't have a plan, and I love when he wins because he's just so much smarter than you and lets you burn yourself by being the Doctor.
All right, I got something to bring up.
All right, bring it up.
He mentions his granddaughter.
Yes, he does. He sure does. Now, this is something is there a granddaughter in the old series that I don't know
She
about?
was the first companion.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the first companion for the Doctor was his granddaughter.
I think
yes,
you're right.
I have been told I was. I love you all. I want to give you all a big Twitter hug.
I love that it's that instant. I love that we can say things that someone says something to me like, boom, yes, you're right. No, you're wrong. Well,
correct.
I'm fine being stupid. That's fine.
Susan Foreman. Yes, first companion.
So, I'm assuming he did go to that planet on the show then?
That's a question. Did they, is this a new planet, or did they... Is this something
a research team
like hinted at before? Yeah, I know. That is sweet.
We need to find out how many home runs so-and-so had. Now we can be like, hey, would this happen? And someone's like, absolutely.
This is so cool.
Yeah, that could be significant.
Not that they can... Okay, no. This is the first time on film being here.
On film we've been there, but he mentions her. So it's a throwback just to say...
Now I'm talking like it's a documentary. This is the first time on film. We have seen him try...
Is this not a doc? That's the only reason I'm watching the documentary, because I thought it was a documentary.
First time on film.
Are you saying it's not real? Because I have trouble with that.
Again, this will be mentioned during Ancient Aliens. So,
look, I got to tell you, Doctor Who probably has more legitimate coverage of alien culture than Ancient Aliens does anyway. Let's just be honest. Okay. There's a line in this show that speaks to what the entire series is about, especially the new series, I feel. And I thought it was very significant and very cool, and I think you need to do a poster that says it and figure out so you can sell it. The statement of, we never walk away.
That was my next thing after whatever you were about to... Yes.
That is a powerful, poignant line that gives you everything you need to know about the entire series in one sentence, because the Doctor never walks away.
And see, that makes Waters of Mars even more powerful, because he tried to walk away at first,
but couldn't.
He couldn't. He turned around, and that's a powerful scene anyway.
I like
that one line just makes that an even more powerful movie.
I thought that line was powerful, and I wish that more was. I wish the Doctor had responded more to it. But I liked it that much more when Clara said it back to him, saying we. She didn't say you. She didn't say I didn't think you.
And he said
she said we. Yeah.
He said we too. And I thought that was, I think coming from both of them it's significant, because I don't think she just parroted it back. I think we meant something to her. But I think it was very significant that he said we, because they're starting they're becoming a pair very quickly, and more quickly for him because he's been with her before and kind of has more of a back history than she does. But that we from both of them, I think, is powerful. And yeah, he does go to the, when we have something of importance, we run. And to me, his running in that situation isn't running from fear, it's running to protect. But I don't think he runs anyway. I think the one time we saw him run, which again is one of the most gangster moments in all of Doctor Who history, when we find out in the Blood Family that he didn't run because he was afraid of these people. He ran because he was scared of what he would do to them. And that's just when you go, oh, I'm the Doctor, I'm a badass. And people forget that. People forget that because he's so fun and cheerful, they forget that when he wants to go to war, he'll go. And it will not be good for you. That's why the only time it's gotten out of hand was Good Man Goes to War whenever he does the Captain Runaway thing, which I thought was amazing to watch. But that was the only point where he's been so out of being the Doctor. I was like, dude, my Doctor doesn't like persecute people. He doesn't get to the point where he wants it to be painful. He just wants to eliminate threats. But it was still a great scene, so I loved it. I just love when he gets mad. I love when he does things.
Dalek with Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
He was nuts in that episode.
Yeah.
Well, that was I think, and the reason that episode that needed to be like that is because for me, coming in, I had no idea what a Dalek was. And there's all this backstory that is there that I have no way of knowing and no real want to know because I'm just finding this show and learning it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to get across, because let's be honest, I've said it before, there's the cheesiest looking bad guy you can get. It's literally an upside down trash can walking around with a punch.
Have you seen the image that I posted on our Facebook page sometime this week?
I
shared it back out. I can't remember who posted it, but it was a very intelligent. It was an image of a Dalek, and it showed each Doctor and how many episodes, how many different times they dealt with them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's all they had in the beginning.
See,
I mean, we're thinking they've been worn out now. No.
If you had just rolled the trash can out and I'd saw them for the first time without Eccleston fearing for his soul, like he wasn't just afraid to die, it was like he was afraid of everything.
That told you everything you needed to know about it.
This is serious. This I don't, because I still said these things look goofy, but I said these things have something going on that I don't know about. I better hush and watch. Mm-hmm. And the Daleks are pure evil. They're pure evil incarnate, and they're the classic bad guy. And I'm tired of seeing them because I think we go to them way too much. But I'm glad when. I feel they got to be in the 50th because it's the 50th, and you just got to have them in there.
Well, how about this? Out of the first 3 Doctors, the number of episodes featuring the Daleks out of the first 3 Doctors, how many episodes do you think there were? I'll give you a hint. How many
episodes are there?
I don't know, but I'll give you a hint. Between Eccleston, Tennant, and Smith, we have had a total of 12 episodes with the Daleks.
Wow,
and we're all like,
more than that.
And we're all like, okay, seriously, back off the Daleks just a little bit.
Way more than that.
Yes. So how many episodes? And I'm going by this image that was on there. I put on our Facebook page. I shared back out. How many episodes do you think between the first 3 Doctors?
Okay.
We're going from
question is by episode. Are we meaning entire story arcs? Or are these the 30-minute segments?
I'm guessing probably 30-minute. It doesn't specify.
The answer to all questions is 42.
107.
Wow. Chicago's infinity -4. Team.
60. I just enjoy Kyle's answer. It was 60.
So
32 for the.
I win.
Yep. You don't get both showcases though.
Yeah, I wasn't close enough for that. Not at all.
Yeah.
I asked this very, very detailed question before I answered it, and then answered it with an absurd answer. So, yeah. Right.
Right. Okay, so does anyone else have anything on this specific episode before we move on to random Doctor?
I had something, but I can't. Give me a second. Yeah, why didn't the TARDIS? Do you think because actually I got two more things, and I'll ask you all both. First, I'll go in the order of the episode. Do you think?
Yes. I do think.
Do you think that we should figure out the recipe for those blue glowing cupcakes?
I think we need to come up with at least something that's a reasonable facsimile.
Oh no, seriously.
I'm thinking snow cones with the glow in the bottom of the cup, like a LED.
You could do a glow. You could do a glow stick in the and do that.
I think if you put LED, like a flat LED
Or you
at the
could
bottom
do,
of the cups,
yeah.
you could do snow cones that glow.
Yeah.
As I'm telling you, November 23rd is going down at the
Anyway,
house. We're having big time.
Did it register with anybody that the TARDIS wasn't translating for Clara?
No.
I didn't notice that at all.
Was it not?
Well, the tiger lady person was growling and barking at her.
But the doctor barked at her whenever
But see, think about Tennant's first episode. The alien was doing that, and Tennant was doing that, and when the TARDIS finally started letting Rose understand, there was no more of that barking back and forth. Doctor understood. Clara didn't.
Did she talk to any other aliens before that? Or was the girl the first one?
The girl was the first one.
Makes sense. So do you think the TARDIS was freezing her out, or do you think that was just the time to say...
Or because she's not been on there long enough?
I'd say it's the same situation. Although she had already... Well, they didn't go anywhere where they had to do any translating or anything like that previously, because it was always in England.
Sexy, just acting like a woman.
I think it's just the delay. I think it's the same. I think it's one, and that's a cool touch detail that you don't catch, but needs to be there. Kind of like whenever he crosses both hearts.
Yeah,
very subtle.
Yeah.
Does that?
But that small, because if he had said,
and he always makes, and it's always the plural and every. I mean, always, yeah.
Little details like that are what makes it.
The second one, does it bug you all that she's not staying on the TARDIS, that he's dropping her off, doing the whole thing he was doing with Amy and Rory again?
I don't like it. I
think it takes away from it.
I think it does for me. I don't think that's necessarily a global thing, but I like knowing they're on this never-ending journey.
That's what I like.
He's on a time machine. Why does he have to bring her back right after that?
And maybe she just wants to sleep in her own bed. I dig that. I want to sleep in my own bed. But the doctor didn't pick me up. If I'm the TARDIS, I may never want to go anywhere. Like, I liked that Rose... I like that sometimes they could never come back to the day he needed to bring her back. Like in this one, he brought her back the same day. Like he's figured that out, I guess, right now. But I like that kind of lost with him. There was Rose had to give something up to go with him. It was important. Whereas with Clara, she's not giving anything up. Maybe to them, her afternoon is gone. They think she went to the store, but she's been off on this adventure. I like that, giving those things up. It just, to me, it helps build the relationship and it helps them wear down. It's kind of like with Amy and Rory, when they started to realize they needed to pick one of their lives. It was nice because they were trying to dance between the two, and I don't know. I wish they would.
Oh,
You're
another
right,
thing,
Tim. He has not given her the key since he tried to in the snowman.
No, he has not.
That's a good point. I don't think she wants him to have the key, or wants her to have the key. I think the TARDIS is mad at her for whatever reason.
Which will, I think, if that sticks, I hope it's a storyline that sticks to when you get to the center of the TARDIS, or whatever that TARDIS-centric episode is that's coming up. Mm-hmm. I hope that aspect of the TARDIS not really liking her plays into that.
Ooh, DC Sensei just dropped a bomb on me.
Whoa.
I will go ahead and quote it from the book of Twitter.
I'm reading it and it's loading for me. So.
I think it's more like he drops Clara off so he could look more into who she is and to check new theories he has.
Oh, I agree. So
with he can drop her off and then go play detective and go check on her early
because
life
just the look,
period.
The look he had when she left. Yeah, I agree with that.
Good point.
Very good point. I like it. I'm okay with it now.
Right now,
I'm okay with it now.
I am too.
We gotta get DC Sensei on somehow.
Why ain't he writing a column? Why ain't he submitting articles? Why ain't that happening?
He's a busy man.
Well, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
I want to group everybody together and try to figure out how to just let all these other people talk, so we can just sit back and cheer and smile.
So we don't have to do anything now. We just let other people talk about Doctor Who. Isn't that what everything else is doing? We do the show so we can talk about it. That's what you're saying. That kind of defeats the purpose of giving up a Saturday night. Just saying.
I'm just saying, just one time we can be like, look.
One time I do want to open up to full and public, just to let everyone jump in. But last time I tried to do that on one, it wouldn't let me for some reason, which is weird. Yeah. So everybody that wants to ever be on one needs to definitely go to the Google Plus page and like it, or whatever you circle it, whatever you do. I don't know. I just use it for the Hangouts.
Pet it and make it happy.
Yeah. we need to have more. We need to have people there so we can bring them in. Like I have trouble bringing Kyle in because for some reason he's never went and circled the page or whatever. So I can't add him to team members. So I have to individually add him, and he refuses to add a avatar. So when I put in his full name,
you can't,
there's like 30 of them. I have to go find the one that doesn't have a picture, and then I still don't know if it's him.
Okay,
busy man,
this isn't for you two because you haven't said anything, but this is for anybody listening to us now. A month from now, when you're listening to this, I'm curious because I asked this on Facebook about last week with renaming the wireless, and I'll ask this. I'll probably put it on Facebook too. How many people looked up the Beano Summer Special, the magazine the Doctor was reading at the very beginning?
Oh,
when he was spying on her dad.
Yeah.
How many people looked that up?
I wonder if it had any significance because I don't know what it is. But
the Beano Summer Special 1981 was on the cover had Dennis the Menace and Nasher at swimming pool riding a dolphin, water pistoling the Bass Street Kids. No, I didn't look it up. I'm just pulling that from memory.
It's good. It's good that you have such a photographic memory for magazines from other countries
that I've never heard of.
Yeah. Right. Roger that. All right, so we pretty much covered all of Rings of Akhaten. We don't really have a lot of news.
There was one thing.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention.
Go. Fine.
Well,
we'll rewind it. I'll do it again. Go.
Do you find it very interesting that episode after episode after episode, they are hammering it to the audience that Clara is great with kids?
It had never crossed my mind one time until you just said that.
It had crossed my mind. If you want to go look at my Clara theory post, I actually point that out.
Okay.
The whole governess thing that relates to, yes, I actually mentioned that. Not in detail with that. I haven't updated it yet, but yes, I agree. I've noticed that they emphasize that how she is with kids and everything else. Yeah.
Maybe important, maybe not.
It's important for my theory, so
okay,
works for me.
Perfect.
Tim was born in 1981.
Oh my God!
Just saying.
That's wild.
Just saying.
That's all crazy.
Right. So, that covers all Ring of Akhaten. We're going to a couple things to talk about that are coming up on the 50th. What? Seriously? No one had anything to talk about, and now
I refuse to let Kyle be the. I refuse to let Kyle be the momentum killer. I gotta be it.
I'm gonna sit here and keep my mouth shut.
I did a screen capture of this, and this is another part of the theory I have. For whatever reason, anytime we see Clara as Oswin, Clara, now Clara, little girl Clara kicking a ball and hitting the Doctor in the head, the kid always has red on.
I said I wasn't going to talk. Did you just drop the mic? It'd be like drop the mic. Sure, I got red on. Drop the mic. Walk off stage. Sexual chocolate, everybody. Sexual chocolate. Lady in Red. You should have had that song queued up to play. No. You can't go get it. You can't go find it and bring it back. It's on this very special musical episode of Police Box Paradox.
Don't you dare tell what I said or did.
I'm not. But it brings me to where I'm going to talk about it without talking about that.
All right.
We have a couple of codes to give away for the Amelia Williams Summer Falls ebook, and
yes,
we'll be
this is for
out.
Apple iBook.
We will come up with something, so keep an eye on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the Google Pluses, and we will let you know what we're going to require. I'm sure we'll do some type of tweeting contest, would be my guess, and then we'll announce the winners probably on the next episode. Would be
sounds good.
Good, okay. So we'll try and do that, and then which is next 20th. We may have to work on timing on the episode on the 20th, but anyway, so keep an eye out for that. Now, we're done with Ring of Akhaten. I don't care who raises their hand and has stupid information to say again. So you don't get to say anything. No.
I just wanted to say I'm done too.
Okay. And so we're not going to talk about, these aren't spoilers, but we'll kind of talk about some 50th anniversary stuff, and then close it out. So thank you if you're leaving us, but hang out if you want to, because I don't think it's that big of a spoiler. So we have...
It's on the site and on our Twitter feed, so...
You're
screwed either way, sorry.
Why you gotta be mean to people? Just saying.
I already told them I wanted. You know what? After saying that, I wanted to give everybody a Twitter hug, and then saying that, it's probably a little awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awkward. It's definitely awkward. So
I'll just take them to an alien sun and ask them if they feel the warmth on their eyelids as
BBC
I massage their shoulders.
Make it stop. Just make it stop. Feeling icky right now.
And then I'll give them a wet
icky.
leaf.
Feeling icky. Feeling icky. Where's Chris Hansen when we need him? It's awkward right now. So, anyway, BBC confirms Eccleston's out. I'm
50-50 on that bad boy.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
So you think even though BBC confirmed?
I am.
See, if anybody but BBC had said he's out, like I still feel Captain Jack can show up.
This is my feeling about it, and this is why I'm probably 70-30. Tennant, Piper, 10th Doctor and Rose. That's the big bad announcement everybody wanted to hear about. Everybody was clamoring. Everybody was going to be paying attention to everything else. And they also had to tell. They told that, and then they also had to tell because they obviously have been filming outside and publicly and everything else. But at the same time, that would be their big thing, you would think. So why give that right out the gate? It's almost like I'm thinking, look over here while we do this.
It's good. That's a good misdirection play.
So I'm questioning the misdirection.
Something had leaked, and they knew that people were going to know about it because they'd actually planned the press release for the day of the read. And then something happened. They had to burn that information and get it out early. But, yeah, it does make a good misdirection play because this week you also had, I forget which of the doctors, but he said that none of the previous doctors pre-Eccleston had been
any of the 20th century, yeah.
He said they had not been contacted about the 50th anniversary. That makes me feel like he's just straight lying.
Apparently they're all on the same news feed or email list or something to where they all know when everybody else is contacted, I guess.
I don't know, but you can't tell me that they're doing the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who and somebody's like, hey, fellas, I just want you to know we're doing a 50th anniversary. Not going to have you in it. They would say something.
We don't need you.
There's been no communication at all. It makes me feel like you're just lying. You're just lying your pants off.
Hello.
What was that?
What did you do? Man, Tim just dropped a bomb, too. Check, listen to this. Eccleston's only companion is Rose. He would either have to bring Rose or it would be a doctor from before the new series. What if Rose didn't show up with Tennant? What if she showed up with Eccleston? Because Tennant ran without Rose.
Yeah, but when I think of Rose, I think of Tennant.
And that's what most people do, but...
You never know. You never know. I hate that Martha.
They obviously had a plan for Eccleston from the report, the way the report reads.
Right.
The quote from the BBC person that came out and said that he's declined to be a part of it, said that he's had multiple conversations with Moffat. So they were going to have him in it. So... And if there's a connection between Clara's mom and that first time, you would think that he would be the big key to bring in and Tennant be secondary. Which, loop back around, comes back to my misdirection. Because you don't want to, if Eccleston was involved, why would they want you to know that if there's a connection? Because then everybody would be like, that's connecting the dots, all that hand movement.
For those on the audio podcast that we do, he just shook his hands around a whole lot in this room. You couldn't see that, but I want you to understand what happened.
That's why I have not taken the... And I'm typically one to be like, all right, because I've actually said I don't think Berriman's going to be in it. I don't think...
I just feel like...
I think they should, but at the same time, I don't know how they would work him in and it not feel forced. So, unless he just unless they have him in the background somewhere. Unless
All
they have
I
a
know
big,
is
unless
you
they have a
just-
big crucifixion of the Doctor and everybody's in a coliseum.
Well, you said that people were kidnapping the Doctor's friends.
That is, I can't talk about. Well, I have theories on that too, so I'm not going to talk about it.
All right.
Because I can't. My problem is some of my theories, I don't know what information I know that would be considered out there and what information I know that's considered not, so I have to be careful. So
Okay.
I don't want to break our own rules. I don't want to be that guy. I have enough titles.
Just can't have a normal conversation, can you? You gotta be like, I know stuff you don't know. I want to ruin it for you. I want you not to be able to wait.
Actually, I think I talked about it last episode too.
Did you? Did you? Well, then they can go download that episode. I'm just saying, they're all still there. You can download all of them. Go back and check out stuff.
I mentioned the Great Intelligence in the finale, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Great Intelligence... Look, everyone knows the Great Intelligence is involved because the stupid Great Intelligence has been around. I mean, you can't show up in the Christmas episode and then show up in this episode or in the episode before. And the Great Intelligence very well could have been the Pumpkin Planet. We don't know.
The Pumpkin Planet. Okay.
Was that or Randy Jackson? Yo, dog. Little flat.
What were you talking about?
Doctor Who. It's so dreamy. Hey, that reminds me of something on the river or the Rings of Akhaten. Let's go back to that.
No.
seriously, it does.
I'm pretty sure one of us said we couldn't do that.
Too bad. I got a microphone, and you can't mute me. So
No, you host it. I can't.
the people we like that weren't in the episode enough that said whatever the girl's name is, where
That
are,
looked
Mary, where are
like
you?
that look like the kid that says, "Are you my mummy?" Looks like they're their daddy.
Right. Do you? And again, I wish I could go back and check it, but I feel like whenever they were with the Doctor there at the end and he had done the little face-off, I feel like they asked him, "Who are you?" I feel like that got said.
Well, I'd go back and look right now, but I'm not sure I could.
I can't yet.
I can't
Or
either.
I would.
Maybe one of our Twitter buddies will do it.
Maybe they will. Maybe they
Although I have to admit, unless you were strongly paying attention, those suckers were hard to understand at some point.
Listen,
They should have turned them up just a little bit.
I agree. But I listened closely. I tried, and it stuck out. Like I almost wanted to rewind it when it happened. I
Oh,
was
DC
like,
Sensei made a good point. The big bad, the big alien planet it's an eater of people's memories, which is similar to what the Great Intelligence was doing last episode. He's consuming people. That's why they were downloading them.
So the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, could be the Great.
I don't know. Well, he called it a parasite.
Did he call it a parasite in the other one?
No, but I mean, a parasite typically
Eats, yeah.
feeds off, yeah.
other people. Live,
And I
as a
took it as almost the parasite took over. Used the sun as the host to. That the parasite wasn't the sun, that the sun was infected with the parasite that way. I could be wrong.
We will see. Well, gentlemen, I hate to bring this to a close, but we got to. So, everybody, check us out, policeboxparadox.com. It will take you to our site on haveageekasm.com, which is a wonderful site that Mike runs that you should check out, especially if you like to have everything spoiled for you. Everything.
You're welcome.
Don't take milk there. It's spoiled. You just can't go near Mike without things spoiling. So, until next time, that is Mike. That is Kyle. I am Wes.
I have to give a shout out to Christine.
Who? Oh,
Christine.
who's Christine. Oh, with the book lady. Yeah.
Yeah, the book lady.
Well, I thought we'd definitely do a big whoop-de-doo thing when we give them away. But yeah, thank you, Christine, for giving us something to give away. That's awesome.
She'll be my lady in red for this, for me to bombard the end of the episode here in a second. Go on, finish your little
Don't
spiel.
lady in Reddit. Don't lady in Reddit. Don't Lady in Red it.
I'm doing it. Go on, finish. Go on. Finish your spiel. Go on.
We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Google Plus. We're apparently on Spotify so that Lady in Red can get played. You can check us out at the website that I said and get to all the other things. I'm just trying to drag it out to listen to Lady in Red.
Oh, we're on Tumblr.
Oh, yeah, we are on Tumblr as well.
Yeah.
And one of us tomorrow has a birthday.
That's correct.
It's
Don't
Mr.
sing that
West.
song. That'll cost us a lot of money if you sing that song.
Wes can be the Lady in Red.
Actually, no. No, I can't. Just want to make sure that's clear to everyone.
Hang on. I want to give one more shout out, and I want to make sure I get the name right before we do sign off.
So let's make everyone wait while you get this name.
Yes, I've got it. Do you not want to give a shout out to Jim Hawkins, the guy who's sending us
yes, that person I would like to shout out to.
Okay then.
Even though it's my birthday and you're getting them, but still,
And I'll bring them to you with a bow on.
Aw. Hold on, is the bow on the Jammy Dodgers, or are you wearing the bow? Because this could go one of two ways.
You've not seen me lately. I've gained too much weight. There's not going to be no bow fit on me unless it's a bow that's I've taken off a Nissan.
Good deal. Jimbo Hawkins.
Yep.
That's on Twitter.
Yes.
He
is sending us. He is sending us.
Not sending. They've already been sent.
He is mailing us.
Jammy Dodgers are
Jammy
on
Dodgers.
the way. They are on the way. And so we will be eating
So
Jammy
maybe
Dodgers,
all
and
you
I'm
other
looking for
listeners should
upstairs.
take a cue from that.
Hey,
Because
now,
I'd like a set of those Doctor Who stamps. I'm just saying.
I just want people to listen to the episode, my man. Just listen to the episode. So until next week, we never walk away.
Eat them on webcam. Yes, sir.
I'm dancing Lady in Red.
He's meaning the Jamie Dodgers, right?
Lady in Red. Dancing with me. Cheek to cheek.